It's 2 p.m. and I just woke up and I had the weirdest dream. Let's make some coffee while I tell you about it. You know in Twilight where they're playing baseball and it's like a field surrounded by a forest and then, okay, picture that, right? But there's two houses. There's one that's in front of the forest and then there's another one that's in front of the field. Man, it's gonna be a small glass of coffee today. And these two houses, they're rivals, like absolutely hate each other, completely enemies. But for some reason, they always hold these annual like games to compete against each other. And I don't know why. I don't like that. I can't recall. But anyway, in this dream, the games are underway and we're at the finale, right? We're at the last event. And it's like all these aggressive games, like no protection, no gear, nothing. So one of these challenges, the one that I had to compete in, was the other house had this entire floor where they had made like puzzles put together, like, you know, the little jigsaw puzzles. The entire top floor of the house was covered in puzzles, just covered. And it was my mission to go in there and completely destroy every single one of them without getting caught. Now that team was on their way back home, so I only had a very limited amount of time. But the thing was, you couldn't go destroy the puzzles until that team had breached property lines. Meaning like they were back in the neighborhood or where these houses were. There was like a certain point where when you're outside of that, you're not allowed to like do anything to your competitor. So I was like running and waiting to enter this house, false positive. So I start destroying stuff, right? In the background, I'm like, wait, I should be hearing noise. Like where is the other team? It's only like a 10-second drive, right? So I get worried. I'm like, oh no. So I like get halfway through destroying stuff and then I leave. Oh, I forgot to mention there's like neurotoxins they give you so that no one's at their peak performance and everything, and that stuff is starting to kick in. So I need to like go throw up. I run to the forest and I hide in the forest and I'm just praying that I don't start puking when they come. Somehow I like pass out in the woods for a little bit and I wake up to like all the anger and screaming and whatnot, and there's someone standing over me and they help me get out of the forest and into the field. And I'm not safe until I cross back onto the property of where we belong, right? I'm saying right like you know what's going on. None of this makes sense. So then I finally make it back, and just in the nick of time because they start coming running after us because they see us. I don't know who the person is next to me. I have no idea who that person is. So we finally barrel across the lines and I'm back into safe property, except I'm not. That apparently was just like the last straw, and it like turns into an absolute bloodbath. I just remember something bad happening. I don't know what happened after that, but something bad happening. And I just like kept, like the dream would just restart up until where I had to enter the house to destroy the puzzles. So like whenever we got back to the point where like they had discovered that we were on their property and they started chasing us, like the dream just looped. It looped back to when I entered the house to destroy the puzzle. At first I had like the full dream of like all the games on the fields and everything, and then I went to the house to destroy the puzzles and I went into the forest. But then once when I like left to go across property lines again, it loops back to when I entered the house. And each time it looped, it changed a little bit. I don't know. People are like, oh my God, your dreams have meanings. This is bonkers. Nothing about this makes sense. Okay, we got a little small glass of coffee. My liquid gold, my pot of gold. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.